This year's school creative project has really surpassed everything that we could have hoped for. We chose oracy as a focus because it's one of our school development plan targets. The Year 4 class we selected was basically because there's a lot of needs within that class. We've got EAL children in there, children from quite challenging backgrounds, and some very anxious children. And so we felt that, following on from last year's project held here, that this class would really benefit from a real skills focus on oracy.
It also links very well to the new curriculum because in language and literacy we're taking a route down oracy a lot more than written work, and the children have shown off their oracy skills through teaching other classes as well as preparing different videos that we now have ready to share with the rest of the school.
Once we decided oracy was our focus, it was then, what are we going to do? I contacted Ellie and said, I've met this amazing circus guy, Pete, and thankfully we did secure him to lead our oracy project, and he had so many ideas.
Hello, my name is Peter Duncan and I'm a social circus trainer. I've been working for the last 30 years using circus in different settings, educational and therapeutic, sometimes with trauma things. So I'm a circus trainer. I had contact with the school and they were interested in using circus to improve confidence and literacy. I got interviewed by the children, and the first surprising thing was their attitudes to circus. They interviewed me and were asking about what animals I had, where I got the animals from, what animals were coming to the school.
Will you bring animals?
I won't bring any animals with me. I will bring lots of circus kit. We should talk about what circus kit I should bring. I bring lots of circus kit, but no animals.
We asked him questions for him to answer, like we were interviewing him.
And every time different groups came in, he was wearing different clothes.
Different hats.
Yeah,
He has those
every
hats.
time we were on Zoom, he was wearing a different hat and a different jacket. We were asking him questions like, how many hats do you have, or do you have any animals? Or what's your favourite circus trick? And we found out his favourite circus trick was juggling fire.
How much rings can he juggle?
How old he is?
How many hats he has?
Has he got any pets?
So we carried on throughout over 2 days doing Zoom interviews with Pete, and then a couple of weeks later we finally got to meet him in person.
And you have to say, I can't do it yet. Can you say that?
I can't do it yet.
Okay, and the reason for that is, if you get mad, you go, oh, I can't do it. You get fed up. You definitely can't do it. If you go, I can't do it yet, practice. Back on my head about half the time. First go. That's great.
During these sessions, Pete taught them a variety of skills and games that included all the variety of circus skills that they are now really good at.
Just do it then. So over this side of the room, there's popcorn. Come over here. No, there's popcorn.
We were given the job of writing instructions for what we had already been taught, and we then looked at each other's and tried to edit and improve them as much as we could. And he looked through the instructions that we had already compiled together, and we talked to them as a class. Pete read some of them out and we had to copy them just to make sure our instructions were as good as they could be.
And you had a good teacher? Who was your teacher?
Layla, she taught me how to do the wallflower thing, and she also taught me how to do a flip. Robin taught me to use a big one of these.
A big javelin?
Hayden taught me how to do the spider.
Yeah.
Now I'm really good at it. Olivia taught me, and she taught me how to do elephant tiger, and that made me a bit better at juggling.
We created some videos that will be shared around with the rest of the school. They are currently on QR codes along with the instructions, and this gives people a better understanding of how to carry out the different skills.
This is how you start a diabolo. This is how you flip it over your leg. This is how you do round the world and under the sunshine.
When Pete returned, he was really happy with the videos that they'd created, and he returned for 4 days for the final block. The first day of that was where the children had the opportunity to plan age-appropriate sessions for whoever they were going to teach, because they were aware of how important it was that reception children and Year 6 children would not be able to do the same things.
Teaching is exhausting, so I feel bad for the teachers.
Yes.
It's very exhausting. They're just like, now you know how we feel.
You could really see the confidence of some children. Some children really shone, and quite often it was the children that you weren't expecting. Children who at the beginning of the year would never put their hand up, would not answer questions, were now stood up in front of children older than them, delivering sessions to the whole class as well as the teachers that are in that class.
See the sharp thing in the middle? You need to be looking at that all times because it will help you focus more.
When my group were teaching Year 6, we were all feeling a little bit scared because they were a lot older than us and we didn't really know them that well because we haven't been able to mix with them.
I really want to teach different classes, so don't teach the same ones. Maybe the people that were teaching Year 1 maybe could teach Year 6, and then the people that were teaching Year 6 could teach Year 1s now, something like that.
Yeah, I'd still like to visit other classes, but I'd like to visit different ones because I want to teach different classes to see what it's like and how they learn it, because they might learn it differently to how the others learned it.
Their brains was working and they was very warmed up, so they got to do nearly everything.
Pete would do some reflection with the children where they would talk about what worked well, what didn't work well. During this they were obviously working on their oracy skills by answering these questions.
I think they liked it because it was for small people and tall people.
All right, for small and tall people, we chose the right activities. Good stuff. Why did you do the right activities?
We had the right activities because they all enjoyed it and it was really easy for them all.
It was really easy for them all.
Me.
Yes.
Keep trying, don't give up.
Keep trying, don't give up. So people have been helping each other, teaching each other, learning things, sticking together. They've been practicing and being creative and listening. So we're sat next to a big list of skills. It's the second time I've tried the game. The first time I asked children what they were learning and they were all very practical, naming the circus equipment that they'd done. This time, which is halfway through the activity, we had another go at looking at the list of what they've learned, and it's very different.
Yes, they came up with so many more ideas this time. They've linked it to their learning as well as circus skills. So they've improved their reading, their writing, as well as helping each other, which is something that they really did need to work on. It's really a big improvement in their vocabulary, I've noticed anyway.
There's also a lot of personal stuff, being confident, being positive, encouraging each other, keeping trying even when it's hard, not being sad. So there's a lot of personal reflection as well, not just the kind of we've all worked together, but there's a lot of internal stuff about being
positive.
Things like
problem solving as well, isn't it? Them realising that they are solving problems by doing these things. We haven't really mentioned these skills.
Nope.
They're working out the skills that they are learning themselves.
Creative and sticking up for others. Saying I can't do it yet. And got better at
Being
practice. And there's
Enthusiastic.
to not give up. And lots, somebody said, how do you do that? And the whole class just go, to practice.
The final part of the third visit is to do a show. So we've done our reflection, and now we're going to do 2 shows. We're going to split the school up and do 2 big shows.
This Creative Schools project has had such an impact on my class as learners. There's been a massive increase in their resilience and their perseverance. They've shown off so many times through this project that they no longer give up straight away. If they can't do a trick straight away, they're prepared to keep persevering, keep trying, help each other.
Basically, like, you can't do it, but you're saying you can't do it yet.
Things aren't that impossible. And people always say I can't do it when they can actually do it sometimes.
Also, a massive increase in confidence for these children to stand up in front of their whole school, perform their acts, teach different groups is just amazing. And through this project, I've now really increased my confidence in bringing creativity into the classroom, knowing that it can be done in so many different ways. I never realised how much of an impact circus could have on so many different areas. Our language, our literacy, through our writing, through our oracy, our health and well-being by using it to do little brain breaks during our lessons. I really do hope to carry on using this, not just this year, but in other years to come, and to link my teaching towards circus skills, because I've seen just how much of an impact it can have on the children.
All the teachers are on board to use it in all sorts of ways across the school to help their own oracy. As a school, I think we really have embraced the circus. I think we have become Kevnley's School Circus. We've now got an amazing set of resources. The circus kit we've got is fantastic, and from simple things like balancing some feathers and then describing how you feel and things like that, staff have already got a lot of ideas, and the Year 4s will definitely be at the centre of keeping this running in our school.
I've learned about enjoying ourselves.
I learned to say I have a great sense of humour.
I learned to be happy.
Happy. Made me feel happy, and I thought I was very proud of myself. When I finished, when I was performing to the little ones, I actually felt quite proud of myself, and everybody was cheering us on, and it felt really nice. And when I actually did it, I felt like I was special and that I did it perfectly, and it was good.
It was hard, but it was also fun.
It was hard but fun. Like when on our first show, we were like really like shy, but then when you actually go on, it's not that scary.
Just like, ooh, hello. When Pete first visited us, I was very excited, and I just wanted to know what we were going to do next. And now I'm sad because he left, but I'm also happy because we've got all the circus stuff to ourselves and we can keep on practicing.
Thank you for having us.